Lux's stilettos clicked against the marble floor as she stepped out of the elevator, the city's skyline glittering behind her. The man from the club, Victor Dango, smirked as he poured two glasses of Louis XIII. "You don't act like the other girls," he said, handing her the crystal glass. "You're calculated." Lux took a slow sip, her eyes never leaving his. "I just know what I want." What she wanted was the thick envelope on the dresser. What she needed was to disappear before sunrise. But Victor wasn't the type to let things go. 7:30 a.m. The first light of dawn crept through the curtains as Lydia scrubbed off her makeup, the hot water burning away Lux's remnants. The envelope, now hidden beneath her Bible, contained enough to cover her sister's hospital bills. Her phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You left us soon. Lux, we have unfinished business." Her blood ran cold. Victor knew where she lived. 12:15 p.m. Grace Dominion Church. Lydia stood before the congregation, her voice angelic as she sang "What a Friend We Have in Jesus," but her hands trembled. Pastor Mike noticed. "Sister Lydia, are you all right?" She forced a smile, just a little tired, Pastor. But across the room, a man in dark sunglasses watched her, and he wasn't here for salvation. Lux adjusted the plunging neckline of her emerald green dress, the fabric shimmering under the strobe lights. The club pulsed around her, bodies pressed close, sweat and expensive cologne thick in the air. But her mind was elsewhere. On the text, on the man watching her at church, on the way Victor's fingers had lingered too long on her wrist last night. Tasha leaned in, shouting over the music. "You're off tonight. What's wrong?" Lux forced a laugh, tossing back her drink. Nothing a little patron can fix. But then she saw him. Victor stood at the bar, his tailored suit cutting through the crowd like a blade. And he wasn't alone. Two hulking men flanked him, their eyes scanning the room, searching for her. 12:30 a.m. Lux's heels clicked against wet pavement as she slipped out the staff door, the cold night air biting her exposed skin. She fumbled for her phone, dialing a number she hadn't used in months. "I need help," she whispered. A pause, then a voice, rough with sleep. "Lydia, I thought you were done with this life." "I was." She glanced over her shoulder. Shadows moved at the end of the alley, but it's not done with me. 8 a.m. Sunday service. Lydia stood at the pulpit, her choir robe pristine, her voice steady as she led the congregation in worship, but her eyes kept darting to the back row. The man in sunglasses was back, and this time he was smiling. The smell of salt water and rusted metal filled Lydia's nostrils as she stepped into the dimly lit space. The man from the phone, Deji, her ex from a life she swore she left behind, leaned against a stack of shipping crates, arms crossed. "You look good." "Looks," he said, using her alter ego's name like a blade, still playing both sides. Lydia ignored the jab. Victor's not just some rich playboy. He's connected. And now he's got people following me. Deji's smirk faded. He pulled out a burner phone, scrolling through grainy surveillance photos. "You messed with the wrong man. Victor Dango doesn't just own clubs. He owns people." A flicker of fear shot through her. "I just needed the money. My sister." Yeah, the hospital bills. Deji cut her off. "But Victor doesn't care about sob stories. He thinks you stole from him." Lydia's stomach dropped. "What? That envelope you took, it wasn't just cash. It had a flash drive, something he really didn't want getting out." She tore through her closet, fingers finally closing around the hidden envelope. Empty. No. Then she saw it. A single line scrawled on the inside flap in Victor's sharp handwriting. "You should have stayed gone. Looks." Her phone buzzed. A new message, this time from an unknown sender. A photo attachment. Her breath stopped. It was a snapshot of her younger sister, standing outside her university dorm, unaware, unprotected. 6:50 p.m., the Vault nightclub. Victor swirled a glass of bourbon, his reflection warped in the dark tint of the windows. The door creaked open behind him. "You took something that wasn't yours," he said without turning around. Lydia, no looks, stepped inside, chin high. "I didn't know about the drive, but I'll get it back." Victor finally turned, his smile chilling. "Oh, I know you will, because if you don't..." He tapped his phone's screen. The photo of her sister reappeared. "Well, let's just say Faith won't save her." Lux's fingers trembled as she scrolled through the encrypted files on the stolen flash drive. Bank transfers, offshore accounts, names of high-ranking officials. Enough evidence to bring down Victor's empire. "You stupid girl," Deji hissed over her shoulder in the dim glow of his safe house. "This isn't just money, this is blood. His people will kill you for this." Lydia snapped the laptop shut. "Then I'll use it as leverage. Victor thinks he owns me. Let's see how he likes being owned." The club's neon lights painted Victor's face in garish colors as Lux strode into his office, heels clicking like a ticking bomb. "I want my sister left out of this," she demanded, slamming the flash drive on his desk. Victor chuckled, swirling his drink. "Or what? You'll go to the police." He leaned forward, eyes glinting. With what credibility? The choir girl who fucks for money. Something inside Lydia snapped. In one fluid motion, she grabbed the letter opener from his desk and pressed it to his throat. "Try me." Lydia scrubbed at her hands raw in the church bathroom sink, the water running pink. Victor's scream still echoed in her ears. A knock at the door made her jump. "Sister Lydia," Pastor Mike's voice called. "The morning prayer is starting." She looked in the mirror. The perfect church girl stared back. No blood, no guilt, no trace of looks. "Coming, Pastor, 7 a.m. The morning after, the church bells tolled as Lydia took her place in the choir loft, her voice rising in perfect harmony with the others. Sunlight streamed through stained glass, painting her face in holy light. Below, the congregation swayed, unaware that their angelic soloist had blood under her fingernails. Across the street, a black SUV idled. Detective Ez pulled up the crime scene photos in his cramped office. Victor Dangote's body had been found in his penthouse, throat slit with what appeared to be a letter opener. "We have a witness," his partner said, sliding over a grainy security photo. Ez's stomach dropped. The woman in the frame, face partially obscured by a sleek black wig, was unmistakably the same girl he'd seen singing hymns at Grace Dominion last Sunday. Lydia froze when she opened her apartment door to find Detective Ez waiting. "Miss Adebayo," he said, holding up the photo. "Care to explain how you were in two places at once last night?" Her mind raced. The lies she'd rehearsed dissolved on her tongue. Then she noticed it, the faint tremor in Ez's hands, the way his eyes kept darting to her Bible on the table. He was afraid of her. The Vault Night Club was unusually quiet. Lux's regulars whispered as she made her final walk through the strobe lights, her green dress replaced with head-to-toe black. Tasha grabbed her arm. "They're saying Victor's dead. That you." "I'm leaving Lagos tonight," Lydia interrupted, pressing an envelope into her friend's hand. "Take care of yourself." As she stepped into the humid night, two figures emerged from the shadows, Detective Ez and a uniformed officer. "Lydia Adebayo, you're under." A gunshot cracked through the air. 6 months later, the new choir director at a small parish in Accra had the voice of an angel. The congregation adored her, though some remarked on how she never wore short sleeves, even in the sweltering heat. And when a certain detective's obituary appeared in the Lagos Times, she simply hummed along with the hymn, her gloved fingers turning the page. 6 months after the shooting, Detective Femi Balogun slammed the case file on his desk, the photograph of Lydia Adebayo staring back at him, her innocent church smile a stark contrast to the security footage of Lux slipping into Victor's penthouse the night he died. "Ez was my best friend," Femi muttered, flipping through the evidence, "and she got away with his murder." His partner, Inspector Kemi, leaned in. she vanished. No trace in Lagos, no border crossings under her name. Femi's jaw tightened. Then we look harder. Meanwhile, Accra, Ghana, Lydia adjusted her wide-brimmed hat as she walked into the small parish, greeting the locals with practiced warmth. Sister Grace, they called her now, a quiet woman who kept to herself, always in long sleeves despite the heat. But when she opened the morning paper and saw the headline, Lagos detective reopens Dangote murder case, her coffee cup trembled. They were still looking. Back in Lagos, Femi sat across from Tasha in the interrogation room, her fingers nervously twisting a napkin from the vault. "I don't know where she is," Tasha insisted. Femi slid a photo across the table, a blurred image of Lydia handing Tasha an envelope the night she fled. "You helped her disappear. That makes you an accessory." Tasha's resolve cracked. She mentioned Gunna once. Said she had a cousin in Accra. Femi smiled. "Thank you." Lydia sensed it before she saw it. The unfamiliar black sedan parked outside the church. The man in the suit who lingered till long after Sunday service, watching her. That night, she packed a single bag, her hands shaking as she peeled back the floorboard where she kept her emergency cash. But when she turned around, Femi stood in her doorway, gun drawn. Lydia Adebayo, or should I say, looks. Her blood ran cold. Back in Lagos, under the harsh lights of interrogation, Femi laid out the evidence. Victor's murder, Ez's death. You thought you could outrun it all? Lydia finally broke. "I had no choice. Victor would have killed my sister." Femi leaned in. "And Ez, did he deserve to die too?" Silence. At her trial, the world saw the truth, the desperate girl who thought she could play both sides, only to become the monster she feared. The judge's gavel fell. Guilty. As they led her away, Lydia finally understood no mask stays on forever. And the price of a double life is always paid, in the end.